Good morning, class. I'm going to start a lecture, but first I want to remind you that you have to check in. You have to give this posting a like or write a note so that I can take attendance. You'll be marked present on that basis. Again, I hope everyone is well. I hope your families are well. And let me just start by talking about Bismarck's alliance system. Well, when Bismarck unifies Germany, he basically wants to prevent any other war from threatening the status quo of Europe. Germany's become the most powerful state in Europe, and Bismarck wants to preserve that reality. In order to do that, Bismarck establishes a series of alliances that essentially ties the major European powers to Germany, preventing any crisis from spiraling out of hand and sparking a general European war. Primarily by establishing an alliance with Russia and with Austria-Hungary. The Austrian Empire changes its name in 1867 to the Austro-Hungarian Empire. So the Austro-Hungarian Empire and Germany join Russia in the Three Emperors League, or the Three Emperors Alliance. In German, that is known as the Drei Kaiserbund. And that alliance is primarily designed to keep conflicts in the Balkans, where both Russia and Austria have territorial ambitions, from spiraling out of hand and starting a general European war. Russia supports the Serbians in the Balkans. The Serbians want to establish a greater Serbian state. Ultimately, Yugoslavia is that greater Slavic, greater Serbian state, and that is established after World War One. But Austria has territorial claims over territories that are claimed by Serbia in the Balkans, primarily Bosnia-Herzegovina, and because of that, there is the potential for conflict between Austria and Russia in the Balkans. In order to prevent that from, again, sparking a war, Bismarck has an alliance with both. And the key to that alliance is that Germany promises in the alliance to side with any of the two that are attacked. That is, if Russia attacks Austria-Hungary, then Germany will back Austria-Hungary. If Austria attacks Russia, then Germany will back Russia. So ultimately, without Germany, no one can go to war. So Bismarck successfully prevents a general war. The closest it comes is in the aftermath of the Russo-Ottoman War, the Russo-Turkish War of 1877, when the Russians defeat the Turks and take a large territorial concession from the Turks in the Balkans and establish a Bulgarian state. They threatened the Ottoman Empire, and they also upset the Austrians. They also upset the British. And there is a potential for war, but Bismarck calls everyone to Berlin. And in the Berlin Conference of 1877, he manages to forge a significant treaty that prevents war from happening. Again, by having all the levers of the diplomatic system, Bismarck is at the center of a railway of alliances, diplomatic railway that all end up in Berlin. In addition to that, Bismarck, in order to preserve the status quo, establishes a Anglo-German naval guarantee. That is, that Germany guarantees that it has no ambitions outside of Europe, and therefore it will not challenge Britain's naval supremacy. In fact, Bismarck says we have no need for a navy. He gives those assurances to the British, and therefore the British, who control this vast overseas empire, about 25% of the world's resources and the world's population, basically sees Germany as a non-rival and therefore accepts Germany's preeminence on the European continent. Bismarck then establishes an alliance with the newly unified state of Italy, not because he thinks Italy is such a great power, but because he wants to prevent one remaining state in Europe, any diplomatic partner, and that is France. France is the one state that Bismarck cannot bring into an alliance because France had lost the Alsace-Lorraine to the Germans during the Franco-Prussian War of 1870, and therefore France has something known as irredentism. That is, it's lost territory that it must regain, that is known as irredenta or irredentism. And France cannot have any ties with Germany, does not want any ties with Germany until Germany gives back the Alsace-Lorraine. Because of that, Bismarck designs an alliance system that essentially isolates France and basically prevents France from having any diplomatic allies whatsoever. And this system actually continues very effectively until Bismarck is fired by Kaiser Wilhelm II. Kaiser Wilhelm II basically becomes the German emperor after the death of his grandfather, Kaiser Wilhelm I, and his father, the Crown Prince Frederick, in the same year of 1888. Kaiser Wilhelm II then takes power. He thinks he knows best, and he fires Bismarck. He then proceeds to dismantle Bismarck's alliance system, and it will ultimately lead to the nightmare alliance of France with Russia. Bismarck's nightmare was a two-front war brought about by this type of alliance. That is, France would find a way to ally itself with Russia, and then Germany would find itself sandwiched between two hostile powers. This would ultimately happen in the First World War in 1914. Okay, class, I think you probably have heard enough on this. You have an assignment. The assignment is due on the 6th. Please remember to log in on Edmodo and give me a like. I will use that as attendance. It will be an official record, so please do it. Okay, hope everybody's well. I will see you soon.